Hey guys, RunBuck with RunBuck on Games. Got another war recap for you. One of our, I think, the first time we participated in the Fair Play uh, community's Potluck, or at least one of the subsets of that, and we ended up matching against a very good clan, the Swarm. And as you can see here, they were too much for us on this day. Maybe in the future we'll get a rematch, but they beat us 87 to 80. And really, in hindsight, looking at it, even if some mental mistakes have been corrected, they really just walloped us on the Town Hall 9 level. I guess if I was going to show you that at a summary view, you can kind of just see the 3-star rate that we were having down in the Town Hall 9 group. Um, and that kind of made it hard. And I think we even left a lot open, didn't we? Yeah, I think so. Like there's 1, 2, 3. 3 were still open, and we had quite a few. If you look at the nuke levels on them, you can kind of tell how many nukes did we have to use. Let's see. I think Swootang is a nuke, but I don't know if that's Town Hall 10. A-Boy is, so that's 2 nukes there. 3 Snow is. So 3 nukes maybe? Plus 3 open. So the 3 nukes isn't bad, but 3 more than that. So we're really probably 3 or 4 away from Town Hall 9 being within reasonable tolerance of number of closes that we got out of it. But either way, like I said, at this point in time, our Town Hall 9 was outclassed by their Town Hall 9 defenses. And their Town Hall 9 attacks were really good too. But let's take a look at some of our attacks that were worthy of review. And the top vote getter is Mr. Hot Streak. Actually, I was on a cold spell, and then I just came back. I found myself again. So I had a pretty good attack. My first attack, fresh hit on this base. Let me show you something before it gets rolling. Let me toggle over here. So this is the queen walk plan that I ended up setting up, because the big thing when you're trying to get into these bases is you're trying to figure out, I think, first of all, this is a good base for miners because of the fact that it's not really an anti 2-star. Miners aren't as good, I'm beginning to think, working theory, as bowlers and getting to the mid when it's got that large open gap between it and the town hall or a set of buildings. But in this more homogeneous type layout of a base where there's not large gaps between any given building, you really can go at it. And I call this, again, that H-based structure with the 2 infernos separated. So what you're really trying to do, I think, is get the CC triggered, and get the queen and get a cut in position so that you can drive one of the eye towers. And so this ended up being the box. There was some trouble with this because I knew I was going to be under push from this air sweeper. So my queen walk would be or queen charge would be getting some pressure. I also had the queen in position there. So there's a lot of DPS if you count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 with the queen, and then 5 depending on which side you're on. So it could be kind of a lot of pressure depending on where it lands, and if there were Teslas in this position, I didn't know. So I was a little nervous going in, but let's take a look at how it flowed out, and then we can kind of talk about why it worked. But the first opening was pretty much to plan. The wall break position was good. In terms of where we wanted to be in the wall to be open so that I could go into the base itself. I was a little nervous when it went to this wide side. I was afraid she was going to run around, but that AD was far enough forward that it pulled through. Queen was taken out while in a rage. So it was all really flowing well at this point. Again, got a little nervous when that many minions came out. It's definitely a queen overwhelm play. But again, we got it down. Now here's where I think I actually got lucky. Notice how the queen at this point has never really, this whole design of this base is under the concept that the queen moves towards the mid and gets under smoke from the inferno, and then the healer's action won't help. But her pathing, because she kind of went here and then bounced back to the AD, that really left nothing. The closer pull was from this side, so she really just kind of went back against it, so stayed out of range of everything, and then she's going to bounce out. So I don't know if it's something that I can repeat, because I think if she would have been dead, I don't know if I would have gotten it, because you'll see she takes out a lot of the overall base itself. But then you have your usual king run forward here on the outside edge, clearing a lot of stuff to keep the miners on the inside lane. And then we just heal through, and then with the freeze on the backside. So if she hadn't been dead, they would have been under fire at this point. See how she comes pretty close to dying right here. But then they go. So it would have been, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of juice. Although if she would have died, the other thing about the style of attack is if she dies in this location somewhere, the theory is that your miners, which are moving this direction, will be picked up by the healers, and then there's just kind of a nice transition off to the healers, to the miners and the moving through. So a couple different things worked really well in that attack. I think the queen bounce out really made it a lot simpler, or made it look a lot simpler. It was not planned, that bounce out. I had assumed that the queen would die in that box, but her bounce out, um, and the actual movement, when you compare it to the movement I thought that was going to happen again, so look at the model. I thought that she would come this way, and then the black dots are her movement lines, shooting positions. I thought she was going to be over here, and then really the only thing that's left is nice arc, and so then she would have moved up. But what happened instead, and the key was that this F shot position, which is when she's back here, she didn't shoot that. Instead, she decided, and if we move the line, let's move it back a little bit, we can have a little fun here. So if you move back to the F position, you can see I thought she would move towards the AD at that point, but really she moved this way. She moved out into the outside and took out these 2 points and then came back. And maybe it was because of the wall breaker position. Let's go back just real quick and see where she crossed over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I had the hole marked. I had her movement point about 7 bricks over from the edge. So let's take a look at where she did cross over. Might be interesting for some. Because what I'm trying to understand is why the model was off a little bit. So let's go fast on this. Where's the hole going to be? Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's on the strongest piece of wall segment. Gives her a pretty big hole overall. And this came in actually pretty late. So again, let's flip back. See how I thought that would come in early? It didn't drop till like way later. So see, I thought at B, that was pretty, see how borderline that is when you look at what I was assuming targeted was at B. See, actually, if you look at the line, we're 1 tile away from shooting position on that versus coming in, and we're 1 tile away from this. So she decided to go this way and then proceed in, basically ignoring C. So that was a tough call. I mean, you're at a hair's breadth of one way or the other, and that's what really made the difference, because then she pulled towards the wall at the end, and then you can kind of see the flow after that, because then she crosses over on this very close to that one edge wall. Anyway, interesting stuff. I was really happy with that attack because I thought a lot of things worked well and it was really pretty. So I'm glad the clan agreed. Let's see here. We'll switch down. We didn't have any votes for the Town Hall 10, probably because all they had was janitorial duty of nuking down and trying to just 2-star and keep it close. I totally vomited on all my other attacks, probably due to frustration. Who knows? 20 was the next one voted on. Ohio Legend. Is that the one that was on? Oh, wait. Nope. He's going to be the bonus round. The next one voted on was Jippieh on 19. So let's take a look at this one. Oh, this one's nice too. Don't mean to dog you out. So he starts with a queen walk plan. He's going to end up walking this way. But what he notices is look at these 3 wizards. Basically, look at the value they get. They're going to get all this cleared from here with no harassment whatsoever. So really a good understanding of the queen's range, and that if you could walk a wizard right up here, that she'll never shoot him. And then also he gets the trigger from the 1 lone wizard because the queen itself was locked by that point on the expo. So I don't know if he knew that wizard would walk. It was the second attack, so maybe he saw in the first attack that wizard walk would get him in there and get his trigger. He does need the trigger before. Well, he would have known by now that was a hound CC, so really any type of ground push really wasn't much of a threat as long as the queen was far away from the ground forces. He wouldn't have any problem. So really, he didn't need that wizard trigger, but he did get that really nice value out of the wizard movement over the top side there. And then the rest is pretty simple. I mean, the base is pretty much laid out for a nice just walkthrough, so it doesn't really come into play. Then lastly, we had number 25, Captain America. And I didn't watch this one, did I? I think it is the 4th attack on the base. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, so this is basically he's taking Woo Boy's favorite attack, and he's going to open up with the 4Q, getting access for a Golem, 2 Golem wizard push with the Royals backing to get down this part of the value. Plus the CC is taken out. He's getting an Expo out. Although, yeah, and that's up, so that's important to get down. And he might actually get to this other AD as well. So he ends up getting. Will he get this AD? Wow, that'll be close if he does. He does not. Oh no, he does. Here he comes, banging out, boink. So really, at the point of once he had gotten that main group through, he had, and this is Paxton's body moving through the background there. He's checking out what I'm talking about. But you can see that the main group moved through. Once he's got one AD down, he can that try LavaLoon is just too overwhelming, almost too much meat shield. Because you can see here he's got an extra hound left, but he probably didn't expect to get this AD taken out, so he's just being careful and having an extra hound for that potentiality. So there it goes. Here we'll go to full-time speed on that. 4 times. Very nice. And last but not least, the bonus round that we go through at 4 times speed, that is Ohio. He thought his king bounce was pretty awesome. That was 19, wasn't it? Or was it 20? It was 20. So Ohio in the bonus round was voted on. What did you get? 4 votes for Ohio? It's not bad. Starts with a baby dragon open. Oh, he's trying the new Pekka. So there's a lot of debate in the clan about when Pekka versus HeBo versus Golum, blah, blah, blah. It's basically all different forms of meat shield and the way they path, I think. And so the questions will probably revolve around that, like how the base is laid out and how pathing works. But you can see here the Pekkas really did not have an issue. Probably the only concern you'd have with this attack would be time. Let's see how much time he had left. But it looked pretty nice. 236. So he did have. Let's go back. I just want to see where he was talking about. He was glad the king bounced out. I didn't see that. I was watching the Pekkas wander around. So there you go. The cut's pretty good. Oh, there he goes. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Well, that does really help him because look at if he hadn't had that king bounce out, did he really have a lot of anything to take out that much HP over on that other side? Not really, but I mean, even if the king was here, I guess it could be just following around, and he had 20 seconds left. Yeah, he might have had an issue if that had not happened. So maybe planning on using more of a king forward, as I call it, where you kind of flank the edge with the king. That's what's the standard we use with the minor sweeps because you know that you're not going to get to those edges on the backside. And it helps keep the rest of the troop in, which is the problem with Pekkas is if they see the outside, they'll bang through the wall and bounce out. So having an outside flanking team is always good. Whoops, there you go. There's my base. But yeah, so that's about it. I will show you one other thing. I am planning on doing a 3-star locksmith on this base because I had laid out this. Oh, wait, this is the current war. Let's go to. Oh, now we're all confused. Do you really care? Well, I'll show you this way. So I was going to 3-star locksmith this base. So this was their number 1 in the war. A little more complex of pathing. So we'll do 3-star locksmith. The first attempt's going to be a queen charge into here with a jump, actually, to try to cross over so that you can avoid the Inferno and the Eye Tower while keeping the queen alive. She's going to be moving this direction. And then your mass minor movement would be this way with the king forward off this edge here. So we'll start with that, but then we'll mess around with some other variants. Ended up I didn't hit this because one of our tunnel 10s hit up before I was able to execute the plan. So we'll just try it in the 3-star locksmith. So stay tuned for that. Good luck, guys, in your wars. Talk to you later. What am I going to do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's a legendary JTJU! 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 What? I like Red You and this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.